This magnificent Roman amphitheatre here in Plovdiv in Bulgaria provides a superb example of price discrimination, because you have to pay in order to be able to come in and view it, just to be able to enjoy the atmosphere of the place. How much do you pay? If you're a Bulgarian, you pay 50 shturinki. That's maybe 15 pence. If you're a foreigner, you don't pay very much. It's only about £1. But that is 3 leva. That is to say, 6 times the amount a Bulgarian pays. Why is this price discrimination? Because they're selling exactly the same good, the opportunity to view and enjoy the atmosphere of the place. They're selling exactly the same good to different groups of consumers at different prices. That is classic price discrimination.
There are two main conditions necessary for price discrimination. Elasticity of demand must be different in each market, otherwise there'd be no point in trying to charge different prices. Second, there must be a barrier between markets to prevent customers buying in the low-priced market and then reselling in the high-priced market, and thereby appropriating the benefit of price discrimination for themselves. This, you'll remember, is called arbitrage and has the effect of diluting price discrimination.
So what stops an enterprising local Bulgarian buying 30 or 40 tickets, standing 20 yards down the road and selling those tickets to foreigners as they come, and destroying the price discrimination via that process of arbitrage? The answer is that it can't perfectly prevent arbitrage taking place. It's fairly clear that a few people have been able to get in at the low price even though they're foreigners. But there is a very substantial barrier. In this case, it's a language barrier. So a typical foreigner who comes here, can't speak Bulgarian, realizes that the price to him is 3 leva, has no idea that what the other sign is saying is that the local Bulgarian only have to pay 1/6 of that price. So language isn't always the barrier which prevents arbitrage, but it's one possible one, and it's perhaps the most important one here in Plovdiv in the case of this Roman amphitheatre.
At least this was so until the process of price discrimination was abandoned a few years ago, for reasons that we'll see later. Examples of this can often be seen in electronic products, which may be sold for less in Japan than in Europe. Products intended for Asian markets can sometimes be bought in Europe at a discounted price, but may come without a warranty or with manuals written in a different language. Vendors who sell so-called grey market products are engaging in a form of arbitrage. Some ski resorts in the United States sell discounted books of tickets to local skiers early in the season. Visitors are unlikely to travel to the resort in order to benefit from this discount. Local skiers often sell these tickets later in the season, thereby appropriating some of the benefit of price discrimination for themselves.
Remember, if there are no barriers, what happens? Arbitrage takes place. People buy in the low-priced markets, and this time buy a load of tickets for 50 shturinki each, resell in the higher-priced market, that is to say, to foreigners.
If Texas Farms sells the same pork in the US as Japan, what prevents traders buying the pork in the cheaper US market and reselling it in the high-priced Japanese market, destroying Texas Farms' ability to price?
In this case, the barrier is created by the Japanese government. Texas Farms has to meet the stringent standards and provide the certification that Japanese consumers have come to expect. If the meat is sold in the US market, all that certification is lost. That pork cannot now be sold into Japan, so that the certification creates the barrier which prevents the resale.
The same pork is sold in both markets, and the barrier to arbitrage is the certification required by the Japanese government. For ski resorts, the barrier between markets is geographical. It's the distance a customer must travel to take advantage of lower price. Local skiers can travel short distances to purchase discount tickets early in the season. Visitors are discouraged by the distance that they would have to travel.